Good morning. Good morning. How are you?
Hi.
Hi. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the second day of tea time. I hope you all brought your beverages. We are starting off day two of the festival, and it has been an exciting one thus far. Um, I am going to offer up a land grant, a land recognition. We are standing and living on the Coast Salish Duwamish land, a people to whom we owe current and past debt, a living people who honor the space, honor their ancestors, and without whom we could not have this incredible and do this incredible work. So thank you, and we pay honor to you. Um, Naya, how you doing?
Hi. I am doing wonderful. I'm so glad to be here. Get
Yeah.
to do something not work related online.
Nice, nice. Looking at a screen that you choose to look at.
Exactly.
Nice.
Pretty colors, not just like black Zoom boxes with people's names.
Yeah, right. And we are this morning going to include a number of guests with us from two sets of films. One is coming to us live from France. I can't believe that's amazing. Louise Sauton, and who gave us the wonderful short film A Conversation, that is going to be part of our short program, the QT BIPOC program. And then we have two other guests who are local, so exactly the opposite, coming to us from Kent, Washington. Um, we have Logan Ellis and Donata Fuesi. And Donato, you're going to have to forgive me for how I pronounce your name, and you're going to repronounce it for me, and then I'll get it right. Okay? No disrespect. Love you. But just before we do that, what do you think of the festival so far? Have you been going? What you been watching?
Who, me?
Who you?
Yes. I'm saving up all my goodness for tonight
Oh,
because like,
nice,
it's my weekend.
nice,
I'm just gonna like sit and like take in everything.
nice. Well
Yeah.
done.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it is quite the lineup that we have. I'm gonna look for our lineup for this evening. Oh my goodness. Um, Boopity boop. I know I have it. I know I put it here. What? Oh, you know what? Why don't we go to our guests and then I'll give you the tea about the about this evening's lineup. Um, Louise, Logan, Donato, look at you, girl. Look
Hi.
at you. Oh, it is tea time for real now. What? Girl, you
I'm
married?
not even
I just
awake this
checking.
early on a Saturday, usually, but I figured, hey, it's tea time, and so it's time to get ready for high tea.
Oh yeah,
So
and it's IT
thank
now.
you for giving me an excuse to dress up this early.
And Logan, you did the same, Mr. Handsome. What's up?
Hi, hi. I've got little I just have Lego tea, but it's
That'll work.
That is really, I can't believe you. That's a thing. That's wonderful. Of course, that's a thing. What am I talking about? And if it didn't exist, you would build it.
So, in the midst of getting all this together, I didn't have time to actually make some tea.
Girl, you
But
are
I'm
the
glad you
tea.
spill it.
Spill it all you want, and we'll just drink you up. How about that? How about them apples? Um,
PC Pilot says great hat. I have to agree. Absolutely.
it's all of everything. It's like you're paying homage to the it's you're paying homage to the Derby win.
It's more for my girl Quincy Blueberger.
Nice. That's right.
With the pink colors.
So, Naya and I have a series of questions. Did you get our questions? We were so intrigued by all of your work. A Conversation by Louise Sautron, and Lego Harry Potter and the Transgender Witch, an online series that y'all came up with. Beautiful work that is a collaboration. Let's start, Louise, with A Conversation. Is that so? So let's start first with you're coming in from France. I am. Thank you. I don't even. What time is it there? Oh, did we lose Louise? Louise. Oh dear. This is what happens in tea time sometimes. Oh dear. Okay, we're gonna jump over to Donato and Logan. Sip, sip, sip. Happy tea time! Yay! Because of course, as the internet heavens would have it, Louise has had a stable signal with us all of this time, and suddenly we're live in the show. 6 minutes in,
it just paused.
Yeah,
It's okay.
yeah.
Welcome back.
It's a great shot, though. It's a really great shot. So, so tell us a little bit about Lego Harry Potter and how that came out, and the Transgender Witch, that is, and a parody. Let me add a parody. So tell me a little bit about how that came about.
This project is made by a theater company, which is called Theater Battery, and I have my Theater Battery shirt on right now.
Oh, yay!
So as a theater company serving the Kent community, this was going to be our 2020 was going to be our 10-year anniversary. But then, like, with COVID happening and sort of like the decimation of the theater industry, everybody was trying to figure out different types of projects that could happen with theater people and with our like array of collaborators, but also stuff that was going to be able to help people to feel some joy in this extremely otherwise depressing year and ongoingly depressing time. And something that we really picked up on was that a lot of people just in general have been reverting to childhood comforts, and nerd culture and toys and all of these other sort of fancies that have been like really like taking a huge role in our lives during the pandemic. And Lego has had this kind of like huge huge surge of attention and new toys and a bunch of stuff specifically surrounding the Harry Potter series. And it was my mother actually that brought home like one of the Lego Harry Potter, like the Hogwarts set, like months and months ago. And it was like literally myself and a couple of the people that were like in our pod just like hanging out and building this and talking about just like, oh, like we're playing with these toys, and then and also really wanting to discuss everything that's happening with this J.K. Rowling transphobia drama and the essay and like all that was happening on social media at the time. And on top of that, at that exact moment, we were just like looking at doing film projects because that was the type of thing that so many of our collaborators were interested in, because it rather than doing like Zoom plays or, you know, substitutes for theater, thinking more about like what new skills could we teach ourselves in this remote world. And that's where the idea of a stop motion animation came about. And it started out and it was just a couple of artists talking about what could possibly be the story of it. And then that snowballed into a group of a national group of writers which is about like a dozen people, all queer and trans writers that are working to write this entire series. And it started just with like a Google document of all the different plot lines. Sorry, my cat is meowing at me, but all the different plot lines. And then we started writing the episodes and hiring actors. And that's how we came to know about Donato, because Theater Battery has been a friend of Utopia Washington, Donato's organization in Kent, for many years. And we participated with them on a documentary film project that we made about Kent back in the summer. And it was in speaking to some of their staff about this that they were just like, you need an actor. There's someone on our staff that would be absolutely incredible. And so we were able to arrange for demo recording, and then it kind of went from there. And we've been through a lot on the project over this kind of like 6 or 7 months of working on it. It's sort of really in earnest. And we recently just kind of took a break to rewrite the second half of the series. And that has been an extremely exciting process, because in the second half of the series, it's just like it really like ups the stakes of the whole story and the experience. And we're really thrilled to be about to release episode 6. And so we're going to be able to do that. And so today, in between the festival events, I'm actually going to be animating some of our like the final scene of that episode. But yeah, and I'm Logan, and I mainly do the animation and some of the producing and coordinating and directing of it. But there's people from all over the country that participate in the artistic conception of what it is that happens, and actors from all over the place that have done the various voices of the characters. But that's a little bit of background on the project.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Okay, so like I'm hearing you say, this is a theater group who does, live productions, and then you decided to do film. But not only did you do film, you did like stop go animation, which is so ambitious and maybe one of the hardest mediums to jump into. Like, can you tell us a bit more about how you decided like this was going to be the one?
Well, I think that it's interesting because it's actually, there's so many people that I wanted to be involved with this that we would never be able to geographically be together. And there's something about this where really, I can do the animating part of it in my parents' attic, and then have people on Zoom watching from wherever they want, and they're seeing the exact image that's going to be created. And on top of that, voiceover artists can work for 1 hour and record so much content that we then get to play with and work with. So in many ways, it's been pretty accessible. And as far as the learning of the stop motion stuff, YouTube is amazing. Like I've learned it all from that. There's no classes involved with it. We've never, like, no one on the project has done a stop motion before. And so it's been, we did about a month of like trial scenes, literally just like doing little sketches and random things that, just like a different scene every day, just kind of like build up a rhythm with it. And then we just went into the scheduling of the episodes, and some of it's taken a lot longer than anticipated, and some of it's taken less time. But we're just kind of, I think we've kind of surrendered to this idea of like, it'll come out when it comes out. So that's what's going to happen. And there's also so much personal stuff. Like there's all, with so many people involved, it's like, there's all this other life factors that come into play with a project like this. And so it's been nice to just take our time with it. But yeah, I think that it's also just like, as from a directing standpoint, you're working with actors that like, they're going to go exactly where you want to, and they're going to stay right there. They can't move very much. Like they can't, like, they don't have a lot of facial expressions. But they can undulate their arms a lot, and that's exciting. So there's all of those details.
Yeah, when my staff first mentioned this project to me, of course, it was within the mind realm of get the drama queen involved. So I was like, absolute yes. I read through the script and I knew immediately that I had to be part of this project. Like in any way possible, I knew I had to be part of this. So it's really quite funny because I submitted voice recordings for every single character on the script and sent it over to Logan, and I was like, here's my audition.
That's hilarious.
I was so happy to hear back and learn that they wanted to record in person and get some samples to share with the rest of the group. And then lo and behold, I become Quincy Blueberger, the transgender witch. It has been such a thrill. Folks in my community message me all the time about how much the story means to them, how they resonate with a lot of the narratives that Quincy experiences as the first transgender witch attending Hogwarts. And so those are the messages that I truly cherish and make me feel so overjoyed to be part of this project.
Yeah, I can well imagine. It's very touching and it's so accessible, right?
Mm-hmm.
That and everybody relates to the story, and here is a perfect medium because Harry Potter is traditionally a story about quote unquote misfits, about the idea of not fitting in and finding a place for yourself. Before we continue, we have Louise is back.
Yay!
Yay!
Welcome back, Louise.
Louise, ça va? How are you? So we'll have to forgive a little bit and take a beat because Louise, as I'm going to remind everyone, is coming to us, joining us from France. Tu es là, Louise? How's your signal? Oh dear, don't go again. I can see your eyes moving.
Yeah.
Can you hear us? Okay, head tilt. We have a head tilt. Oh dear, okay. We have so many questions for you, Louise. We've written them down in our little chat next to us. Est-ce que tu m'entends là?
Hi.
Okay, tu es là. Bonjour. Hello, good morning.
Hi.
Bonjour. Comment ça va?
Yes. Good. Having a bit of a rough time with my
internet signal. I wonder if it's like if the internet is sitting there saying, "Excuse me, we are several hours ahead. We don't go back in time." No. Well, all the tea you want.
And you should have spilled your tea. TMTC pilot from YouTube.
Hello, bonjour. TMTC pilot. Ooh. I want to know what that stands for. And is it pilot flying? Do you fly? I bet transgender witches fly. What? So
we have to wait and see in episode 6.
Louise, yay! More stable connection.
Hi.
Hello.
Yeah, I'm on my wait. I think my computer is still. No, it's good.
This is
I'm on my phone now.
Okay.
Is it better?
Yes, so much better. So much better.
Okay, cool. Sorry.
Yeah, don't apologize. It's all good. Welcome to like life in 2021. Like this is how it's going.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? We wait for all the great things. It's all good. Don't worry about it. Let me ask you really quickly that while we have you, because we don't want to lose you again. How did your project come about?
Well, I'd like to say that it was planned, but it wasn't. Well, I'm currently in a school for art and more precisely photography, because photography is what I do the most. But we have a couple of cameras that was lying around, so I took one back home. I recorded for one weekend, and then I just forgot about all the rushes I had for 2 or 3 months, and came back to it. And that's when I had the idea of making this sort of slice of life, kind of short. I'd say it's a time capsule of how I felt at that time, because I had just learned that I wouldn't be able to get HRT as fast as I thought I would. So it was kind of a weird time where I needed to find courage to just keep going, even if things take time sometimes. It's okay. It's like time takes the time that time takes. So yeah, it was mainly for me to remind myself of my duty, sort of staying strong, so other people know that even if it takes time, things will get better.
So true. That's so true. Yeah, and thank you for recording that. It's such a personal journey. My goodness. And then not only did you record it for yourself as a kind, it feels like a little diary, almost a document, right? But then you decided to go back to it and I'm assuming edit it and then offer it to the rest of us, offer it to the world, and that's an incredibly courageous act.
Thanks. Thank you. Well, I don't know if it's courageous. It just felt right, and I don't know. It's kind of weird because I always didn't believe people that said fake it until you make it, but like that's what got me through so much of like the pandemic and just getting today of being like 1 month on hormones. So
congratulations.
Thanks. So it's like, yeah, it's also like a lot of joy of sharing this moment of saying, see, like I wasn't feeling good at that time, but now it's so much better. So
yeah,
I'd say it's more of an honor
Do you
of
think
people.
that, go ahead.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I was gonna say, do you think that you would be interested in doing like another project similar to your first one, almost as like showing a progression of where you are now?
I don't know because it was a very specific time because there was the pandemic, but also I had been I had faced a lot of transphobia in my school where I was studying, where one of my teachers was very adamant about the fact that I should open the discussion of my work to non-queer and non-trans people. And it was hard because I got into an art school because I thought it would open me to more I don't know, like more creative ideas, I'd say. And on some levels it did that, but on some others it closed a lot of doors because the art school mindset is still very elitist. Like you constantly have to justify what you do in order to it to become art. And that's not true for me. Like you can make anything and call it art even if you're not an artist. What matters to me is what you put into what you make.
Yes.
And so that particular short was a lot of that, of me just pouring in everything I had and making something that means something without having any art justification.
Yes. Yes.
And so to answer the question, sorry, to answer the question, I would make other shorts, but like you said, to show the progression, I think it would take an entire different. It would have an entirely different aesthetic. So I think I'm going to, but it's going to look a lot different than what this short looks like.
Yeah.
Louise, well, I think you are absolutely courageous for documenting and sharing that gift to the world. The emotional roller coaster that our transitional journeys can subdue upon ourselves operates from a very sensitive and deep place. And so recognize that there is bravery in that. And I salute you, my friend. Thank you so much.
Yes. 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 Yeah. Echo, 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 echo.
And I want to call out some of the commentary that Deb Simone is sharing with us. They say honest beats clever anytime. And Deb Simone is actually another one of our filmmakers that's a part of the festival. They're giving you lots of praise and amen and yay, saying it's hard to feel obligated to be a spokesperson, especially at that precarious time, and we appreciate it.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Yes, wonderful. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing those thoughts. Because we support and salute you, Louise. It's absolutely. I mean, in many ways, a good number of us have been through similar things, and I know when I saw your, you pack so much emotion and so much interesting tension into one very short piece. To hear the story behind it now, it makes sense, and it makes it even more moving, right? I mean, it was already what it was, and I could watch it and rewatch it, and as simple and straightforward as it is, it yes, it I believe that's Deb, but TMTC Pilot is saying keep a journal, Louise. I encourage you to do the same. If you choose to share it with us, we would love it, because your art is amazing. But those tensions that you bring up are so familiar to so many of us that I could watch it and rewatch it, and it felt like this part now resonates with me, and this part now resonates with me. And it was like, one of those things that was also during COVID such an encouragement to my heart, because I was actually restarting testosterone while during COVID, and of course thinking about the bodily changes, and would my voice change again, and all of those things that come up that are imposed anxieties from the outside, right? When am I going to grow a beard? And then now I have to learn to shave, and where's my dad to teach me how to shave? Oh, well, can't. Like all those things that we imagine as losses, but we can actually turn around and move forward as growth moments. And that's what your piece offers us, is these moments of growth, right? Moments of change and transition, both emotionally and physically, so we get to own ourselves. So thank you. It was very moving. And then we have the balance. We actually have the balance here, because we have hopefully you managed to watch when I sent the link to I don't know if you can get it in France. So because it's an American link, and YouTube does its own geo-blocking. So I hope you're going to be able to get it. The Harry Potter, the Lego Harry Potter and Transgender Witch parody. We're going to keep on saying a parody because, quite frankly, it's fair usage. We're putting it out there. Nobody's making money off anything that Donato and Logan are doing. And it's very necessary in an entirely very similar, but an entirely different way, because it offers us a conversation about a teen who is trans, and she's gone to Hogwarts. It's really incredible and lovely. And you told us a little bit about how the project came about, and how it was circulated. Now, Donato, you said you hadn't met a good number of people who are part of the project. Is it true that when we meet Melina and Malix, and I want to get their names correctly, those are their names, who are writers for the piece, that you haven't met them?
Through emails, we've chatted. And when we premiere an episode, we typically host a live for the group and a virtual space to celebrate the release of each episode each week. And I try to do my best to pop in, but sometimes I get pulled in all these different directions, and it doesn't afford me much of the time that I'd love to pop in and meet the rest of the folks. that are involved in this project, but like it's so amazing that regardless of knowing everyone involved, right, is that a national scope of people have been able to pour their heart's work into this project and create something completely beautiful. I am so lucky that I have Logan just down the street from my office that I can plug into as a resource and like, hey, am I doing this thing right? Or to help guide me through voicing Quincy Blueberger. It has been truly magnificent because they have a setup in their downstairs basement to be able to record. And it's like the highlight of my month, week, or whatever, when they call and they're like, can we schedule a voice recording? I'm like, okay, when?
Yes. Right now, please. Yes.
Come and go, act a fool and like do all of these funny voice impressions. And that experience has just been such a joy. We get to really breathe life into this character who is so vocally and visibly trans, who comes into Hogwarts, which is this highly institutional place that's lived for thousands of years, and she knows herself, right? And it's that constant telling everybody else who you are when you walk into the room and making them recognize I've arrived.
See me as I am.
And that battle too is just so familiar. It takes me back to many places of my childhood where I've gone to different schools, where I've been that new kid, and folks just completely taken aback by how out there I am, that they don't know how to react. Listen here, you want to send me home for wearing that? Okay, call my mom. Call my mom.
I dare you. Call her.
And my mom shows up. Now. What? You wanted to send my child home for wearing that? She looks cute. Not today, Satan.
So TMTC pilot, is that, did you identify that person as Deb? Is that Deb?
Yeah, that's Deb from The More Things Change.
Yay! Hi, Deb! I loved your work, Deb. Thank you so much for tuning in. Deb is asking, Logan, do you have a ton of Lego?
The answer is yes. At the moment, yes. And don't send more, because like we have a lot of people that are just like, oh, you need Legos? Well, we have these garbage bags from when our kids were little, and they just arrive. So we're good. We have enough to do what we need to do, and we're trying to, we're already trying to make plans for who can, where a good home would be for some of this collection. And so we'll definitely be keeping enough to potentially revisit Quincy and that story if the current arc that we're working on, when that's complete. But yes, Wait
a second. Am I hearing some tea? Do I detect some tea here? It's tickling my ears. Is there a rumor? Is there a rumor that there could be more production? Spill.
Oh my goodness. Well, here's what we're working on right now. Our plan is for 11 episodes. And we're about to release episode 6.
Yes!
Our hope is that the final episode will be in July. That's when it will be premiered. But the final episode is probably going to be, we've been working in 10-minute increments, and the final episode may be 15 to 20. So that one is, and we're talking about like, it takes like 5 to 10 hours of animation, recording, prep work, and all of that stuff just for 1 minute of the end product. So the it goes at a pace, and we've got a lot of, this particular episode coming up has a lot of spectacle in it, and a major, it ends with this major montage sequence, which has, we have to work on at a much slower pace. And also so just to speak again about what Quincy has to go through. I mean, she really gets to go through everything that happens in the Harry Potter series, and there's so much rich material there. And being able to see that from Quincy's perspective and debate among our team about what that would be like and how, like, who this character has become, and then to be able to have Donato over and our other voice actors on Zoom, and have actors improvising, and it was really interesting because just to speak to an additional talent that Donato brings to the project is that we're able to sit down now, because we've been doing this for several months and gotten to know each other as collaborators, that she's able to come in and read a script with me, and then we can talk about, like, okay, how does this actually feel? Like, does this feel like where Quincy needs to be going? And like, what, maybe we can make some adjustments and give feedback to the writers group. And at one point it was like, we realized it's like, oh, like this actually, like, when we're actually hearing this, there's something about this that doesn't feel right. Like, let's change it. Like, let's revisit.
Right. And Donato, so you own Quincy so hard. Like, she is you now. Yeah.
It's that's completely it. And that's improvisation is such a big part of I really love working with actors that are improvisers, and that's been a big part of this as well. And I think it's become especially important because it's the type of trials and traumas that the characters go through in Harry Potter are very, very intense. And it starts out and it's a lot of just normal stuff from school and growing up, and being in a conservative space. Like we envision Hogwarts as a very conservative space in our series, but it moves into, by the end of the series, a war and coping with death and coping with intense violence and navigating that as both, not just the character of Quincy, but also now the entire Magical Queers group, which also includes several different canon Harry Potter characters that we have decided are queer characters. And so that element is also in there. And so we've really kind of tried to take our time with, like, okay, well, how are we gonna, like, at the end of Harry Potter, all of those characters become soldiers, and how do we feel about that? How do we want to show the aftermath of that? How do we want to talk about, like, the PTSD that comes along with all of that goes on? And I feel like, a lot of that is so well explored inside of other Harry Potter fan fiction, and being able to bring in that world and collide it with the, like, queer and trans story that we're trying to build, it has been just so juicy. And so really looking forward to being able to share more of that. And the writing meetings that we get to have are completely, like, it's just like everybody's bringing their full nerd and their full passion to it, and that's just been a total joy.
Thank you so much. You know what? We will geek out some way more this evening, because I'm gonna let us chat a little bit about our upcoming events today. Today we have, and I hope you can all join us for the Filmmakers Networking Hour at 5 p.m. PDT. So here on the West Coast time. And then, of course, you are joining us this evening, and Malik and Melina, two of your writers, will also for your parodic take on on Lego Harry Potter and the Transgender Witch. The QT BIPOC panel will start at 7 p.m. this evening. Louise, that means what time will it be for you in France at 7 p.m. here?
I think 4 a.m.
4 a.m.?
Yeah.
You gonna be awake?
Okay. Yeah, I don't sleep much.
Girl, welcome to my world. What? Okay.
That sounds like art school to me.
Yeah. Completely. Absolutely. Well, so we will be able to catch up again, and Malik and Melina will be here to join us, as will Naya. Looking forward to it so hard. And then, in addition to that, we're going to encourage everyone to watch Trans Joy at 1 p.m., Genderation at 2 p.m., and of course the Cutie BIPOC shorts at 6 p.m. if you want a timed out full day of film. And we're reminding everyone that when you watch a film like the feature film that we're suggesting to watch tonight at 9, to round out your evening, Always Amber, an absolutely gorgeous film. Like it really is a must watch. We're reminding you that once you make your purchase, how many hours do they have, Naya, to finish watching?
Oh gosh.
Isn't it 72?
Yeah.
72 hours. You have a full 3 days.
3 days.
3 days to watch. That means if you buy a package whenever you purchase it, by like, let's say the last day, let's say tomorrow. I can't believe tomorrow is the last day. That is so weird. Anyway, we have everything so jam-packed.
So I'm hearing call out Monday.
Yeah.
You call out Monday, you finish all the films.
You can make a purchase today and you can have it until Tuesday. So even though the official end of our festival is Sunday, you can keep your festival going until Tuesday or Wednesday if you purchase everything on Sunday. You just do you. But everything that is recorded will then be available afterwards, and we have pre-recordings, lots of conversations, lots of Q&A, lots of tea coming your way tomorrow morning. Enjoy the festival. Do y'all have anything you want to say to everyone before we head off?
Cheers. Huzzah. Enjoy the festival, everyone.
Thank you guys so much. Louise, all the way from France. We'll see you at 4:00 in the morning. Donato and Logan, y'all are brilliant and amazing. Thank you so much. You are both doing the same work of healing our hearts when things get challenging, and in these two very different ways. And they're just amazing artistry. So thank you so much. Naya, when will I next see you, girl?
Yes, I will be on. I will be back again for the QT BIPOC panel this evening, and I am so thrilled to dive in more to Lego Harry Potter parody, and then also get into, the QT BIPOC wonderful, wonderful films that we have this year.
Yeah, we're going to have a full conversation about all of those shorts. Shorts don't get enough attention. We need to give them attention.
Yeah, it'll be good fun.
Yes. All right. So we spilled all the tea. We love you. Enjoy your day. Happy Saturday, everyone.
Thank you. See you all tonight. Take care.
Bye.